Hi guys, so today I am going to brainstorm regarding what I want in terms of whole of my journaling and planner situation. And I wanted to make a video because I get some ideas and then I totally forget about them before I could even execute them. And so I took my friend's advice, Monique from Monique Plans or Monique Writes. She told me she usually does this, that she says that she makes videos for herself, and like basically she does it for herself. That's why she started off. So I thought I would try to do the same. She has been motivating me to make my own channel for such a long time. Okay, so enough with the introduction. So yeah, I have been struggling with lots of stuff, like whether I want rings or do I want bound, because sometimes I like rings, sometimes I want bound. So I started off with what I want in terms of my system. First of all, when it comes to productivity or functionality, I want functionality, and then I want pretty memory keeping as well. Right? These are the two things that I'm looking for, and it's hard to keep both of them together. Also, like to find a balance between them. Also, there are certain things that work better in a bound notebook, but when it comes to lists, collections, and trackers, they tend to work like in a better way, for me at least, in the rings. So I wanted to find some sort of balance between these things. So I am like, what I want in terms of my planner situation, I want something for future planning. For instance, if I have a doctor's appointment coming on, any event is coming up, like anything that has a specific date to it, so I want a place for future planning, mostly in terms of a month and a week. I want to have a to-do list or task sections, and I want monthly weekly tasks that I need to do in that particular week but doesn't have a specific date. Again, some tasks that I need to do in that particular month, not a specific date. And then daily to-do list. Okay, like a daily brain dump, you can say. And then I want some tasks that don't have any that are unspecified. They don't have any specific date. Like I would just want to get back to this work. For instance, if there is a book I want to read, not specifically book, but for instance there is something I need to declutter my closet, and I don't necessarily have to do today or this week or this month, but I have to do it at some point. So I'll have a list for that unspecified to-do list or brain dump again. Then I want a place for journaling my bad thoughts, basically feelings that I don't want to get back to. I would just write and then burn away those feelings, those pages. So like processing out emotions, that sort of journaling. I want a space for my creative memory keeping, where I could put pictures, I could put ephemera, packaging, I could print pictures, stickers, like I could do junk journaling, any sort of thing, even normal journaling, but that would be for something that I would want to archive. So I will show you examples of each in a moment, but I want something for this purpose. Then I want something for a place for capturing all my notes. For example, whenever there is something that comes to your mind or something that's noteworthy and you want to just have it in your notebook for some time before you can process it out, like notes or inbox, something like that. Then I want trackers. I just love tracking stuff, like when did when did I went on a date with my husband, and just random stuff that doesn't even need to be tracked, but I like tracking things. So I like trackers, how many hours did I sleep and things like that. And then I also like lists and collections. So could be anything, like I have a list in my phone of all the seas that I have been to, all the cities that I have been to, all the countries I've been to, like any random lists and collections, books I want to read, movies I want to watch. It could be my wish list or packing list, what items that I need to have whenever I'm going to pack, and any sort of list and collections, but these things are mostly long-term lists that, which I think work better in a ring system, because how many times would you rewrite them if you were in a bound notebook system? Okay, again with the tracker. So okay, first of all, I will start showing you with what I've been working on. Currently, I'll get back to this. Currently, I was in A5 Filofax Saffiano. Yeah, so I am in A5 Filofax Saffiano, and I am just doing creative memory keeping, what I call it. I just told you about this aspect, creative memory keeping. In this, what I like to do, I just put down the date, and then I just put down stickers and write the highlights of the day. Sometimes I could write gratitude, I could write my emotions and journaling. You know, I could print out pictures and stickers and things like that. This was the picture I put down, sticky notes on it. Like I was just having some, you know, I just wanted to have a very genuine friend, you know, someone, because I've lost touch with a lot of my friends and things like that. So I was just journaling my emotions and things like that. I have ephemera packaging of a perfume box over here, then lots of, again, packaging and stuff like that. Then again, some packaging, memory keeping, junk journaling. Again, I printed a picture with my HP sprocket over here, and yeah, some packaging again. So I, like here, I was just writing. Yesterday I went to shop and I got a lot of stuff, and I just wanted to write each and everything that I got, like face wash, body wash, whatever I want, I just wrote about it. So I like, I call it memory keeping, but I call it creative memory keeping, because here I put down each and everything. I put down junk in terms of ephemera, like here I put down stickers, and I also put down any pictures, like I have put in here and here, for example. All right, I also do other sorts of memory keeping over here, like in my Kimbor, this weekly one, and I absolutely love this. But this is something that I'm more interested in, that I really want to keep, because here I feel sometimes it's nice, but sometimes it can feel restricted, because I just wrote here that I went to Jareer, but I wanted to write what I got from here, each and everything. So this kind of journaling helps me with that. Like I could write more information over here, like I don't have any limitation of number of pages for that particular day. So this was my creative memory keeping, right? But thing is, since I don't limit myself to any specific number of pages, I don't know how many pages I would use in a month, in a week, things like that. So currently I am in rings, but thing is, when you archive rings, especially with a lot of ephemera and junk, the pages tend to tear from here, because there's a lot of stress on it, weight on it. And so I was like, maybe I could. And another thing, firstly, I like A5 size pages. I love it. So but thing is, the pages are fine, but the binder overall can get a lot bigger than the A5 size. For instance, this is an A5 size notebook, and if you see, the pages are the same size in the binder, but the binder in itself can be huge. So I, initially, like later, I was for a brief period of time, I was in my personal size rings, and I started this creative memory keeping in here as well. But thing is, I felt like there was not enough space. Like I was doing creative memory keeping over here, but there was lack of space. See, only one sticker would fill up the page like that. So if I were to recreate this page, where would I do all this writing along with these stickers? It's like impossible on these small pages. So that's why I was very happy in this personal size rings, other than that, but only for the creative aspect, because I wanted to put in lots of stickers, pictures and ephemera. I was not satisfied over here. I wanted to be in A5. So the problem the problem I was having was because I was trying to have an all-in-one system, but it doesn't seem to work for me. I was in rings because I wanted everything together, my pretty planning and my functional planning, but it's not happening for me. Just because of this creative memory keeping aspect, because I wanted bigger pages, I moved from personal rings to A5 rings. But this A5 binder can be huge for me. So I wanted personal rings, but I wanted memory keeping in A5. So I thought, why not have a bound A5 notebook just for creative journaling and keep everything else separately, because that way I will have the real estate of the page, same page, and the problem of archiving the memory keeping pages will be solved. Also, it won't tear away because it's more sturdy. Another thing, you can get these notebooks from everywhere and anywhere. So that was my solution for this, because I love memory keeping, and that way I could just label it over here like 2025 volume 1, volume 2, and doesn't matter if I ran out of it in 1 day, 1 week, 1 month, or like 6 months, doesn't matter. So creative journaling aspect is figured out, right? I will just highlight it, and that would be in a bound notebook. Then comes to my functionality kind of stuff. For that, I thought the rest of the stuff could go in rings. So for instance, I wanted a future planning section, like I want a monthly and a weekly. First of all, I'll show you A5 pages, but later we can I'll just move on. So okay, so I just need a monthly calendar. And for monthly task, I could just put down a sticky note and use it for monthly task, or I could write over here as well. I have these huge notepads, or even smaller, like in every size, and I could just put it over here and use for monthly tasks, right? Then I have, like, so let me just cross off side by side. So I need a monthly for future planning, right? And I need a to-do list for monthly. That's solved. Then comes the weekly. So I'll just have weekly for future planning, weekly, and then weekly to-do list will go here. Then I will need some sort of daily. So I have these daily pages right here. I will use them for daily to-do list, right? Then, okay, I'm breaking off over here, but see, I thought that these things I can have in my rings, but because I like switching up sizes as well, I can set up any size rings for this process. Like I could either use pocket, I could either use personal, or I could just use A5. All right, so like I have monthly calendar, I can print monthly calendar either in personal or either in A5. Like I already have monthly calendars over here, right? And then weekly, I have weekly over here, and what I tried was I tried cutting down those weekly inserts, these same ones, these are A5 ones, and I cut it down to fit the personal size, and it fits. You see, I'm losing a little bit of real estate over here, but basically I cut down this much space over here, and this fits my personal size. Again, same for the daily pages. These daily pages, I just cut it down like this to experiment, and it perfectly fits in here as well. So the reason I moved into A5 rings, even though I don't like sometimes this huge binder, like this extra space you can see, because number one, I wanted extra space for creative journaling, and number two, I had these inserts lying around. I had a lot of these daily inserts, daily pages in A5 size, and I had this Muji calendar as well, weekly and monthly, and I did not want it to go to waste. I really wanted to use them. I love these pages, I like this as well, so because it also has the timing if I want to use them. So that's why I was in weekly in A5, but I didn't like the huge binder size. So now, since I have decided that I can move my pretty planning or pretty journaling, memory keeping in here in a bound notebook, and those weeklies and dailies, I can easily cut them off and put them in personal. So I have decided that I will move to personal size rings. But at any time, if I want to switch, I could easily go back to my A5 size, or I could even go back to personal size, because in rings like right now I already have this planner, but in Rings you don't have to have any notebook or planner. I can always print this in a pocket size. I can have dailies in my pocket size, so that's easy. In Rings it's easy to switch it up. So the rest of these things like future planning and to-do list I will have in my um, Rings. Wait a second. Yeah, then comes the journaling aspect. So what I thought that I wanted some bad thoughts or just processing of emotions and that sort of journaling which I did not wanted to keep. Some journaling I will have in my bound notebook that I would like to keep, the good thoughts kind of way, or good memory keeping. But the bad ones I could just do at the back of my Rings planner. No matter what size I'm using, if I'm in personal, if I'm in A5 or pocket, I could easily journal out my feelings in there. So number 1 is the future planning and to-do list. Number 3 is journaling. This will go in Rings. And then notes. Obviously you could just add any blank pages for notes and inbox. Then comes the trackers and list and collection. Again, lists and collections are very easy to make in lists. In Rings you can just add see, I already have some of them over here, like trigger list, goal setting list, things like that. Like even these peanuts planner course freebies, like I have a packing guide over here. So things like that I can easily have them in lists. Now this might be time consuming in the beginning, but what I can do is that I could make these lists in all of these 3 sizes: A5, personal and pocket. If I'm printing it out, it would be easy. I could just take a picture and resize it and print it, like, or I could just rewrite it because I love playing in planners. So I will just rewrite it and keep them all updated until I figure out my size. So I will print all of these things, make all of these things in all of these 3 sizes. And then comes the tracker. Again, tracker I can make in all of the different sizes and then update it. If for 1 week I'm in this personal size, I could update it, and later when I move on to my A5 size, I can just update my A5 tracker. So things like currently I'm thinking to do this, even though like for right now I will just be moving into my personal Rings, but with time I can update both A5 and pocket as well. So for now I feel like I do have a bit of grasp of what I want to do. So like kind of a balanced situation, like I will use Rings, I will also use a bound notebook, and I will have some functionality and some pretty memory keeping, right? So I hope this would work because it seems like it would, and that's why I was so excited and I wanted to make a video before it slips my mind. So you see, this is a personal size planner and this is an A5 size notebook. So let me just show you. The size isn't that much of a, like, it's not that different. If I just put it like this, you can see it's exact same size. You can't even see them. So if I'm carrying my, oh my god, exact same. If I'm carrying my personal size Rings, I could easily carry this with me anywhere I want. However, the A5 Rings were a lot bigger, especially compared to the real estate they were offering. There was like there wasn't much difference, same page, but the space was a lot. So for memory keeping, I will have this big page, and the rest of, like, I do not need a lot of space for my to-do list. I don't need to have it on big pages. I could have it on small pages as well. I could have my lists and things like that. So that's my plan for now. I will set up my Rings planner and I might make a video and post as well. Let's see what happens. So yeah, another thing that I was thinking was to have trackers in my pretty creative journaling as well. Like, there are times you remember those bullet journal kind of trackers where you handmade those trackers. I really like the look of those and I wanted to try them because I have a lot of A5 size stencils. Like, let me show you. Like, for instance, I use this stamp to make this monthly, those bullet journal stencils. This, I use a stencil to make this monthly. So I want to use those stencils and stamps. So even though my functional tracking would be in rings, then but once the month has ended, I could go on and draw using my stencils a cute tracker and fill it up all at once. So this was something I was thinking of do, but again, if this would not be constricted with time, because if I make a tracker in the beginning of the notebook for the month, I made a tracker for the whole month, but this notebook ran out in 2 weeks, then I'll have trouble, going back and updating it. But if I am doing it in rings, it will be far more easier. So I know I have been rambling a lot. I think this is my longest video ever, but I really wanted to vomit out all my thoughts and ideas that I was having. And yeah, so maybe someone else gets inspired by it. I know I haven't done any much of planning or journaling over here. I was just talking, but I really needed this. So if anyone of you has stuck to the last and is watching, thank you a lot. And if you have any ideas or suggestions, then please feel free to drop them. Okay, thanks for watching. Bye.